Hey middle school ministry, it is Josh here. I am thinking about you, constantly praying for you guys. I miss you and cannot wait till we get back together. That will be a fun day. But until then, here's another video for us to stay connected virtually. Today, I am excited. We're going to talk about our weekly challenge for this next week and then also have our devotional. With our devotional, it is a special speaker. So stay tuned to see who's leading our devotional later on. But what is our challenge for this week? Our challenge for this week, I want to see what you guys can do as far as creating an awkward family photo. We've been doing different games in our house, and one of the fun ones is awkward family photos. So I hope that, I don't know, this just cracks me up. Some of the goofy photos that are in here. We're going to enjoy that Wednesday as well, do some fun stuff with that. Maybe you can look through some of your old photos that you guys have around and find an awkward one, kind of like we did with our family. Here's an old one that is a good one. Or maybe you guys can come up with just another goofy one just like this one. Now, yes, both of these are staged. We're not terrible parents. Maybe not the greatest parents, but we're not terrible parents. We love our kids, and we just want to have some fun with them. So I want you guys to have fun as a family as well. Come up with an awkward family photo. Not awkward as in inappropriate awkward. No, let's have awkward as in just funny, goofy awkward. So let's see what you guys come up with this week for an awkward family photo. You don't need the entire family in there. It just makes it fun to have the entire family doing something together. So that's what we need for our challenge for this week. Submit them and I'll send candy to our winner. Now for our devotional this week. This dude, I love him, even though he likes a team from up north that I hate. Yes, no, Jake Tanner is an awesome dude. He is our 8th grade guys small group leader. He also went with us on our missions trip up to Michigan and Chicago this past spring break. And he was affectionately called Dad by our whole team because all the students just loved him. And that's one thing I love about Jake. He loves God, and you can see that he loves our students. To me as a youth pastor, it is just fun to work with youth leaders that love our students. And that is Jake to a T. So let's listen up to him. We're going to continue talking about a couple of our prophets, our spokesmen for God, people that stepped up and spoke for God when some of the kings were not really doing what they were supposed to. So we're going to check that out. And so I'm going to turn it over to Jake. Have fun. I love you guys.
Hey guys, I'm excited to be bringing you guys this week's message about how God worked through the life of Elisha. But before we get into that, I just wanted to say, I thought it was really cute how Josh was all decked out in his scarlet and gray, but I don't think I look that good in red, so I decided to go more with the maize and blue. Anyways, so the main idea behind today's lesson is that God works powerfully through people to make a difference. And there's a couple ways that he does this. The first is that God does great things when times are bad. And if you read in 2 Kings 4, 1 through 7, we can read a story about how a widow and her sons were in desperate need of help. Times were not good for them. The widow's sons were actually about to be taken into slavery to pay for the debts of her deceased husband. And she comes to Elisha and she asks him to save her from this fate of losing her sons to slavery. Elisha tells her to go behind closed doors and pour what little oil they had left into these jars that they had collected. And what happened was God multiplied that oil just like he did the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and he multiplied that oil so much so that they were able to pay off their debts so that their sons were not sold into slavery. And this is really cool because this was all done behind closed doors and Elisha wasn't even there. So we can see that Elisha wasn't even the one doing the miracle. It was all God. So God is clearly at work. Seeing God do powerful work for people in need is common throughout the entire Bible. And right now, times aren't very good. There's a lot of turmoil, anxiety, and hardships, but our hope, that hope is secure. Because we know that the same God who multiplied that oil and multiplied those 5 loaves and 2 fish, he's the same God who provides for us every single day. The second way that God works powerfully to make a difference is this. God uses regular people to do powerful things. Think about it. Some of Jesus' closest disciples were fishermen. Arguably, the greatest king to ever rule Israel started out as a shepherd. And in 2 Kings 13, 20 through 21, we see that God uses sometimes the most ordinary and mundane things to make a powerful difference. Elisha, who for a long time has been seen as Israel's protector, is dead and buried, and a foreign army is invading. In all the chaos and commotion, a dead body is accidentally thrown into Elisha's grave instead of the one that was dug for him, and the dead body touches Elisha's bones. And God, working through bones, raises this dead man back to life. If God can use somebody's bones to do something that powerful, he can definitely use us. Let me read Philippians 2:13. For it is God who works in you, both to will and to work for his good pleasure. God works in us through his power for his purpose. This takes all of the guesswork out for us. We don't have to figure out what we're supposed to do or how we're supposed to do it or why we're doing it. We just have to be open to the opportunities that God has given to us. This week, let's focus on being open to God's will. There are so many ways that God can use this time. So let's make sure that we're taking advantage of the time and the opportunities that he has given us to accomplish great things for his glory.